Hello guys, today I'll be counting down my top 10 favorite coasters at Carowinds. This is an amusement park located in the border of Charlotte, North Carolina and Fort Mill, South Carolina. And this park has a really good variety of coasters. What are my favorites though? Let's get started. Number 10 coaster is Carolina Gold Rusher. I did not like this ride. It is very rough. It's rough, jerky, pointless, boring, it's just very dull. Kind of gave me a whiplash. I did not like this coaster. I mean, it's a classic. I don't think Carowinds is going to remove it. But I could definitely... I don't know why I wrote this twice. Yeah, I had nothing to do. I just wanted to get a coaster. Correct going, so I just decided to ride this thing. But yeah, I did not like this ride. And number 9 kind of surprised me. This is the Woodstock Express. This is a kiddie wooden coaster, but I actually liked it. It was kind of a fun experience, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the airtime wasn't all that much. It was kind of rough too, but I don't know, I thought it was an okay roller coaster. Definitely like a coaster that I enjoyed, but it's just a kiddie wooden coaster. Number 8 though is a coaster that a lot of people hate. However, I did not hate this coaster. It was just fine. And that coaster is Nighthawk. This coaster has a bad reputation for being insanely rough. And yes, I thought it was just, the roughness was insane. Corkscrews at the end. Holy crap, that is the worst inversions I've ever experienced. Those versions, oh my gosh, they're so terrible. I can't even think about it. It's that bad. That is what took away from this ride. I mean, the first half was fun. I'm not gonna lie. The first half, like that bank turn was fun. That vertical loop, I loved that vertical loop. But once it got to the corkscrews, it just felt like torture. It was just those corkscrews were so bad. It was so unbearable. That was by far the most disappointing coaster experience I've had. But this ride, I mean, I still liked it, but I just consider it an okay roller coaster. Number 7, I thought was by far better, is Carolina Cyclone. This thing, I thought was a decent coaster. Some people don't like it, but I actually thought it was a decent ride. It was kind of rough though, we'll say that. It's kind of rough. I definitely Rock This Monster is by far superior to this, but this thing was I thought it was an enjoyable coaster. I rode twice and just had a good time on it. Not my favorite coaster in the world, definitely not. But I wouldn't say it's bad either. Number 6, Hurler. This thing, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good coaster. Now, would it be worth a time waiting in a long line for? No, not at all. Not even close. Of course, I've never ridden the one at King's Dominion before they shut it down and turning it to RMC now. But I've ridden this one, and everyone says this is the better one, and I actually enjoyed it. I didn't think it was too rough. I mean, the turns, I will be honest, they were very rough, but the straightaways were fun, and the airtime could be a bit better, but it was I thought it was a fun coaster just to ride. That's the thing. And now we're to top 5. Number 5, Vortex. This is the only stand-up coaster I've ridden, and I actually enjoyed this coaster. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good coaster. Definitely not like a coaster I'd re-ride all day. I only rode it once, but the one time I rode, I actually enjoyed it. Some people don't like it, but I liked it. But I wouldn't say I loved it though. Yes, it was a little rough, I'm not gonna lie, but it did feel intense. This was an intense coaster. But this ride it could be a bit better. But I'd probably think it would be better as a floorless coaster, but I could see Carowinds doing that, but I've only ridden this as a stand-up. But anyways, moving on, number 4 is the Flying Cobras. Now, I only got to ride this coaster when it was the Carolina Cobra, which I rode this in the summer of 2016 on July 29th, 2016, if you already know the exact date. But anyways, this ride, it's just a normal boomerang, you know them. They're fairly intense coasters. They're a little rough, but so it's just I don't have much to say about this coaster at all. It's just like a normal boomerang. Okay, now we're at the top 3, and these next 3 are by far some of the best coasters I've ever experienced. Number 3, we have Afterburn, which is my favorite B&M inverted coaster I've ridden. Holy, this thing is intense. Just, first off, don't get me started. It's just, this thing is just, I absolutely love it. The intensity just, oh my gosh, the intensity is incredible. It is so forceful. The versions are just bang, bang, bang. This is definitely my favorite B&M inverted I've ridden. I know some people consider Montu to be the best, however, I think this is better than Montu because this is a lot more compact. Montu is really compact too, but that one's more spread out, and that one does have a trim brake. This is not spread out at all, and this one does not have a trim brake. I also think it's a bit smoother than Montu. It's just, there's a lot of reasons why I love this coaster. Definitely a ride that blew my mind. And number 2 is Intimidator. This thing was incredible. This is in my top 3. This thing is, the airtime was fantastic. I mean, I know there's some people who don't like this ride too much, say it's kind of forceless, and yes, I thought it was a little, just kind of forceless overall, but I actually grayed out during the first drop every single time. I rode this about 3 times during the day, and I actually grayed out every time after the first drop. That was a really intense drop. However, this coaster, I loved it. I was hyped up at that point, and yeah, this is the only coaster I did at night though, because I left like around like 9 o'clock that time. However, I love this ride. Also, the seat configuration's a lot of fun. Very smooth overall. It's just, this ride is just, the thing what I love about this is the airtime. However, not my favorite B&M hype in the world. I still think Mako is better. However, I do enjoy this more than a Polished Chariot. But what's our number 1 coaster? And the number 1 coaster in the park is actually my number 1 coaster in general, Fury 325. Yes, I love this coaster so flipping much. Oh my gosh, this coaster is so incredible. I had like beyond high expectations for this thing, and it exceeded every single expectation. The intensity was out of this world. The drop the drop was so insane. You feel like you're falling forever. Also, the turn oh boy, that turn, that made me gray out. It's also super fast. This is by far the fastest coaster I've ridden. Also, that treble clef element, that was incredible. It takes you under a freaking bridge. This coaster is it's a monster, and that is what I love about Fury 325. Also, the airtime was pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. Felt like Mako's airtime a bit, actually. He was really impressive. This ride impressed me, and that is what I love. And it's just, I don't think there's gonna be any coasters in the world that are gonna beat this coaster. I'm pretty sure one will beat this coaster someday, but by far right now, this is definitely my favorite coaster I've ridden. It's also insanely long. There's hedge hoppers. It's just so many reasons why I love Fury 325. And that will conclude this countdown. What are your favorites? Comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.